Are you about to undertake a residential townhouse development such as a side-by-side, but have concerns around your local council and how they're going to manage the process? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to share 3 tips for managing your council. Here at Little Fish, we've dealt with councils for many years. Through these interactions and experiences, we now have significant experience and knowledge that we want to share. We've made mistakes, so you don't have to. Let's get into it. Hey guys, Peter Kelly here from Little Fish Property Developments. We help you maximise the value of your land and generate wealth through low-risk residential development projects. We share everything you need to deliver successful projects time and time again on this channel. So if you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn the bell notifications on so you don't miss a thing. For tip number 1, we talk about pre-lodgement meetings with council. Generally speaking, we don't use these. But as with most things when it comes to developing property, it's always going to be a case-by-case scenario. Unless there is a specific reason or purpose for the meeting, it's unlikely that you're going to come away with further confidence or knowledge than when you went in. From our experience, these meetings are in most cases super high level conversations with very little to no commitment from council. That said, there is always projects that this will make sense for, and it will make sense to do a pre-application meeting. For example, you may want to have one if in the area that you are developing, it is quite tightly held by neighbours and by council, and this is something that may be considered out of the ordinary. If the site potentially has different ways it can be developed and you need that guidance from council before you commit to a path, then that's when these pre-application meetings make every bit of sense. You never want to throw a dart and hope it hits. If you can get the feedback in a situation like this before you waste money on plans and end up having to completely redesign them. When sitting with council in one of these meetings, it's a good mindset to look at it as a negotiation. You need to be prepared to give things up that are less important to give you the best chance to get positive feedback on the things that are most important to you. When you walk out of a meeting, it needs to be in a win-win situation. If it is, then the meeting has been a success. For tip number 2, I want to talk about common pushbacks from council. The good news is there is only so many things that the council can push back on, and in most cases, these are the same old issues. Think setbacks, traffic, overshadowing, privacy, overlooking, and density. Setbacks, how far your dwellings need to be set back from the front boundary. Traffic, car parking, street conditions, vehicle access and crossovers. Overshadowing, casting a shadow on your neighbour's habitable windows, private open space and solar panels. Privacy and overlooking, looking into people's habitable windows and their secluded private open space. Density, number of dwellings based on a specific area relative to zoning conditions and overlays. Neighbourhood character, so the development blends into the existing surroundings and even complements the area. These are the things that will need to be negotiated into a win-win. It will be critical that you listen to the planner, understand his or her perspective, then negotiate where possible, and ultimately work together for a mutually beneficial, successful outcome. The key to a successful outcome will come down to having a positive relationship with the planner. It will be critical that you articulate what is most important to you and the project's success to try and focus on and negotiating those less impactful and essential items. You need to understand that you will rarely get everything that you want. The key is to get what is most important to you. For tip number 3, I want to touch on dealing with neighbours' objections. You need to understand that no matter what you do, you should expect some pushback from neighbours, whether that be an official objection or directly to you as the property developer. It's the nature of the beast. People love to complain, it's just the way it is. This can be difficult to avoid and can become super frustrating, but you can't let this discourage you because often they don't have merit. It's always best if you focus on working with council. If they are happy to support your application, it becomes more difficult for your neighbours to disrupt your project and its progress. It is essential to point out that council will have no problem issuing their positive notice of decision even if they have had objections. If the council doesn't think the objections have any merit, they will push on with their decision. At this point, the objecting neighbours can take the council to VCAT on their decision. But what we have seen over several years that this is super unlikely. You should be fine if you have worked with council counsel and have played by the rules. For the record, at the time of filming this video, we here at Littlefish have never been to VCAT on a project, ever. And I can say with confidence is because we understand these principles that I'm sharing. Sometimes even just a minor shift in your mindset of how to approach something can impact the outcome. The mindset around dealing with counsel is one of those times. Ideally, you want to work with everyone. The last thing that you want is to put anyone offside. You need to check your ego and remember the bigger picture. You'll never be able to appease the counsel every time, in which case you need to be able to work with these external parties in a proactive, collaborative, and positive manner. That's it, guys. That's a wrap. Hopefully you're getting a ton of value from these training videos. We love making them, so if you have any questions or topics that you'd like us to tackle, drop them in the comments box below. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, please turn the bell notifications on so you don't get left behind. I'm Peter Kelly. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy developing.